And welcome back to another Digital Den mini class. This is part 2 for our Cricut drawing series. As you can see, we're already here on the Cricut design space. So let's go in to a new project and get started with part 2. Today, we are going to be going over how to cut and draw on our same project that we're going to be working on. We are going to be making the exact same thing here. Let me stop sharing my screen real quick just to show you. We're going to be making the same kind of vibe here of this game time sort of thing, but we're going to be doing it a little bit differently by cutting out the helmet and keeping the bear drawn in there. So what we're going to do is, now that we're back here on the Cricut design space, we're going to click on images. I'm going to type in football. And we're going to make sure that we click on the free options so that we don't end up buying anything. And we click on that helmet that we want. Now, we're going to make this a little bigger than the first time that we did. So we are going to drag this out to be roughly the size of our sheet of paper, when that's going to be. A little bit smaller, I think, is probably going to ultimately do us there. And we're in good shape. Now, we want to cut out the helmet and we want to draw the bear on top of the helmet. So we already have basic cut selected because that is the pre-selection there that we have for our Cricut design space. But so that we can see a little bit better when we're working with the bear on our project here, we're going to go ahead and change the color of this guy, and we're going to make it white so that we can see the bear a little bit more easily. Now we're going to click on images once again, and we're just going to type in bear this time. And we're going to click on our bear, add him to the canvas, and drag him on there. So we're going to make the bear, let's make the bear a little bit bigger so he covers up a little bit more of our helmet there. And I would say that, that this is a pretty good spot for it. So it's right in between the 3 and the 5 mark here on our cut. Well, ultimately, this thing is going to be like something like that. And what we're going to have to do is whenever we click make it, we're going to have to realign it. But just getting an idea of how big our material that we're working with here is going to really save us when we're trying to line this up. You'll see when I click make it here in just a second. So the length of this bear is going to be from 0 to about 4 1/4, a little bit over that. And then our height is going to be from 0 to about 2 1/2. So that's what we have to work with in terms of space there. So if it ultimately ends up being over here, over here, over here, or over here, that is, well, that doesn't look as great. We're going to try to center this up as best as we can, but we kind of know the space that we're working with here, right? So when we click on make it, you're going to see 2 things. You're going to see we've got our basic cut here, and we've got, oh, looks like I've selected the wrong thing, and this is going to be a cut as well. We don't want that. We want for this to be the drawn. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on basic cut up here in the operations, and we're going to click on pen. And then when we click on make it, it's going to always give us the option for pen first before the cut. So our cut is going to take place here in this section here. We are within, I think our workspace here might be a little bit too big for some standard cardstock. So we're going to shorten this a little bit to be able to get it so that it is going to fit within the cardstock size there. And that should do us okay. That's going to do us pretty well. And for our bear, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move him over so that he's going to be fitting in the helmet here. So looking at our workspace here, it looks like we have quite a bit of space to work with here, as long as we end before about 5 1/2 so that we don't get into this cut here. And anywhere between, it looks like about 2 and 5 is going to be a good spot, or 2 and closer to 6 really is going to be a good spot for us. So let's go ahead and drop this below 2. And the line that we want to stop by is right about 6. So we're gonna back that off just a little bit there. And that looks like it's going to be a good spot that we're going to be working with there. So the bear is going to be right dead center, it looks like, on our helmet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our computer, connect it to our Cricut Maker, and then we are going to see how this is going to turn out. All right, so we have got our Cricut Design Space on our laptop. We've brought our laptop to the Digital Den, and we've connected it to the Digital Den's Cricut Maker. Now all that's left to do is to go ahead and make our design here. So we have, all we have to do is hit continue on our project, since we already hit make earlier. It is recognizing the Cricut Maker. And now all we have to do is set the base material. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on medium cardstock. It's going to tell us that for our first job here, we have to have the black pen installed. So we'll do that. We've got our black pen right here. All we have to do to install that is very simple. We just open up this little slider here on the left side of the Cricut. We take our pen and we slide it in there and then push it into place so it snaps in right there. And then we close that up and we're pretty much good to go when it comes to the setup portion of this design here. Now all we have to do is we've got to get our paper prepared, right? So we'll get our paper prepared, and once that is prepared, we'll just hit the Cricut button on the machine and we'll be good to go. So let's skip forward to the Cricut Maker actually cutting our project and drawing it to see how everything is going to turn out. Our drawing looks pretty good here, so now we need to get started on our second project. So let's go ahead and send this guy back in and hit go. All right, so we have finished up our new design here. So now we have our first design, which was exclusively using the Cricut Pen, and then now we have the cutting and using the Cricut Pen at the same time. So, whether it's just a stylistic choice here, whichever one you like better, whether you like it all drawn or cutting and drawn, so those are just a couple of different uses for the Cricut Pen. Now, we have lots of other pens available here, so of course, you don't have to exclusively use black, and in the next video, I'm going to show you how to be able to use multiple different colors all within the exact same project so that you can draw, a bear or something else in all kinds of different colors all at the same time. I'm going to show you about that in the next video. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Digital Den Mini Class.